Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Galey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, beautiful hearts. We're so pleased to be here today in this quantum conversation. We're literally to go quantum with sound healing. My guest today is a pioneer in vocal sound healing. Githa Ben David is with us, and we have such exciting news, such fresh, breathtaking news in the fields of healing with the note from heaven and the Hong song. Githa, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Lorraine.
You, as I mentioned, are a pioneer in vocal sound healing. We're going to learn more about that. And you've written 9 books. Quite impressive, actually. But more impressive, oh my gosh, I get chills when I speak of this, is the tangible, real results that you're getting from the note from heaven. And we're going to hear what that is, and you're going to help us understand what that is and maybe even learn it ourselves. But what is the note from heaven?
Yeah, the note from heaven is a condition that you can get in by the use of your voice. And when you use your voice in a certain way that I will explain you after this, then you will open your breath, because your voice is an expression of the way you just breathe before you express yourself. So many of us have tensions in our breath. The trauma sitting in the body, in the physical part of us, is also in the breath. The way we breathe can be restricted, and that's also why our energy intake can be restricted. So in India, they say, some of the gurus or the philosophers are saying this, that your life can be counted in the number of breaths you take. So if you have a deep and open breath, you will be more healthy. This is one of the basic parts of the note from heaven. And when I was younger, I was not especially spiritual or anything. I was brought up in a very atheistic family, and I remember when I went into the musical academy in Copenhagen. I was like in the beginning of my 20s. There were some people meditating there, and, oh, you want to meditate? I was like, I'll get something new, like I want to meditate. Yeah, we can try it. And I said, yeah, I'm thinking, oh, I could have practice on my saxophone in this time, was it a waste of time to sit there like this, and I thought, they're all sitting, and what do they get out of it? They say they get something, but how can I know? And I didn't get anything. I mean, I was not there. I was not quiet inside. So it's only now I understand the sense of meditation, and actually the sound taught me that sense, because I went to India to sing Indian singing, because I wanted to have a break from the academy. I had practiced very, very much on the classical saxophone, which I was studying, and been married to my saxophone, who was a very good girl, doing very good degrees and all this. And then in a moment, you start to think, what is actually the meaning with life? Being clever and playing fast, and it's nice to be good in an instrument, but so I wanted just to have a break, and I asked to get money to interest for something I don't understand of music, something that was very, very foreign to me. And I thought I will not get any money, because that's a very strange thing to ask for. And it was actually because my girlfriend was going out to travel to India. So I thought, okay, I can go with her. And I got a lot of money then, because I had a high degree in an examination I just did. And then my girlfriend didn't go anyway, because she got pregnant. So I had to go alone to India with no reason, really. So I thought, okay, I'm going to learn something to show them when I come home, because the academy would pay that travel for 2 months. I should study down there. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to play the shin. I can't use it for too many things, but maybe I just study the voice. And I did that, and I got the first singing teacher I heard about. Okay, I take her, because I didn't find myself a good singer. And that's something else. If you don't think you're a good singer, the note from heaven is for everybody. Also, if you don't think you can hit the notes, everybody can express it, because it's an expression of God in you. That's a high word to say, but it's like the connection to oneness that you're getting into. So we are all part of that oneness. Not a single one is not part of it. We are all, every one of us are part of it. So I realized that when I came to India, because my singing teacher, Mangala Tiwari, she was also a teacher in the school and all this, but she was singing wonderful. I just wanted to hear her voice. I mean, the Indian and all this, I was not that, I didn't understand really this kind of expression then. But when she sang, this slow thing, and I was like, whoo, I just wanted that. It was shivering all the way through my bones. And I thought, why? It's so different, but I just shivered from her. And it is because in the Indian music, they talk about being God-gifted. And she was, I didn't have to question it. She was God-gifted. I felt this shivering of energy when she sang, and I didn't feel like singing. I just want to listen to her. And so I was also starting wondering, what is this? What is this feeling I get from that? And then it came to me that she's actually singing herself. She's expressing the truth. There's nothing else. It was nothing, I'm singing so well, and now, it's not that it's bad to sing opera, but there was no, bullshit. It was just, as it was. So she said to me that I have to take a tempura, and I got a tempura from her. You play that, and I didn't know how to play it, but you just go home and learn it. It's just to play the same notes all the time, and you sing one note for 1 hour a day. And I thought it's like she didn't know who I am. She doesn't know how clever I am. I went, I was competing myself into the academy, and I was chosen from, 150 people and this and that. She didn't care about nothing. Just go home and sing one note. And I did that. And then we're coming back to the meditation, because after 10 minutes, my brain was so bored. I thought, oh my God, I sing in a deep note. She told me to sing on A under the keyhole of the piano. It's a kind of deep note. And I said, there, sing, and then all of a sudden, a note came up like it was, like it's all full of overtones. And I thought, it's not me singing. And I looked at the window to see if somebody would copy me out there, because it was many voices at once, and nobody copied me. It was my own voice expressing more notes than one. And then that was just before David Hikes came with the overtones from England and started, all this overtone singing started. So I actually experienced coming into a state where the voice seemed to sing me rather than I sang the voice. So I felt like my exhalation got really long, and I could just sit and sing and sing and sing, and I couldn't, the hour passed, I didn't even notice it. It was like so wonderful to stay in that condition. And I start to breathe from here. And that's one part we will work up within the workshop also, that you will breathe correctly. You need to breathe from the stomach. And it might sound not good in the beginning. A very rough sound, but it's the genuine power is down here. This is where our battery is. That's where the mesentery, that's a new organ they have found. It has been proved. It's like this plastic thing, from an envelope. It's like a very thin layer of kind of bubbling thing with the cells and water. And this water is so pure, and the electricity, the electric signals are said to be sent through this, and especially all the gut is packed into this. So when you sing, you are actually activating all the energy system. So you will have an increased level of energy. We have a battery down here. So that's also great, because many of us want to be slim. We want to have big boobies, and women anyway, maybe men also, they like also blow themselves up. We do the opposite breathing, and then we don't get the energy from the Hara center. So it's like a pump, the breath. And we get like a sheep when we get the sound. So if you want to be heard in the desert, you would have this kind of clear voice. When you cultivate with it and work with it, it will be softer and more nice, and you can also use it to be a very good singer. When I came home from Varanasi, where I studied, I had a singing examination, and my teacher was very worried because my voice was like, I didn't have a strong voice. So when I came home, I could sing Bach, I could sing anything, I could do, because I had this support from down there. So that's also part of it. And I can talk, you can hear, I can talk for hours about it.
Oh, we love hearing your story, and it feels really empowering. And what a beautiful journey to learn the power of the breath and the power of singing, and actually what's going on physically. It really is beautiful. And this is something that we all have.
Yes.
So this is an introduction to the workshop that you're going to teach, and we're going to put the link and make it available for everyone.
Yeah.
How beautiful. I mean, I'm excited. I think we're all sitting here. We can sing. We can see how that one note opened you up in that way to the overtones and the patience that was required. I mean, that's really remarkable.
Yeah, when your sing feels really good, you don't think about, you just want more of it, huh?
Yes. Wow. Okay. And so then you learned that this is used for healing.
Yeah.
Right.
It developed slowly, as I didn't know what was actually going on with me, because I was 25 then. And I could not stop singing like that. And when I came home, I didn't feel like playing the saxophone anymore. I didn't feel like going on stage, because it felt empty for me to stand and what is that? It was empty. The other thing, if we're going into the oneness, you are like, you're getting what you will get in a very short time in the musical piece, you will get it non-stop when you are into that. It's a bliss. And it developed in a way that I start to have images coming, like I see film, like when I was a child, when you have to sleep, you start to get images going, and you see all kind of things, like dreaming almost. And this started to come in the daytime when I relax. And I started also to teach this for people. So I thought I better investigate these images coming, because it had a deep impact on me. It was like stories coming up. So I went to take a regression therapy education to know how to handle it if I would have a client also getting into it, or a singer. I was teaching singing, and it was very easy and natural for me to learn that. And so I'm also using this in my international education, not the regression, but I found a way to do it with the voice, that we will sing us into the traumas and change stories, the energy of traumas, that you can be free. Because it's all about opening the channel for the note from heaven to be free, to play through you. Because we are all pipes like an organ, huh?
Wow.
So that was a step, and it's also in that's the book that was no books. This is 3 books. I wrote 9 books in Danish, but there 5 of them I've translated, 6 almost. The 6th is not out yet, but these are 3 books in one here, the ultimate book of vocal sound healing. And in the second part of it, that's about singing yourself free of traumas and how to do it and how you can help each other to do it. Yeah, is it okay? I will go on, or you want to ask?
Yes, we can listen to you all the time.
Oh no, it's boring when somebody's speaking all the time.
No, it's beautiful. Go ahead. There's plenty of time for questions.
You just cut me if I'm too much, because I can talk.
Okay.
And so what is happening is also that when we go into oneness, it's I had some images coming. So I had the image of a Grail symbol. I call it the Grail symbol because I will show you in a moment why it's a Grail. It was like one that is going around like this non-stop. You can go around in it, like wheeling around, like 3-dimensional, but I can't draw it like this. But it was like the 4 halves going into each other, wheeling around. And I didn't know what to do with that symbol until I met my now ex-husband, Lars Mull, who also had another symbol with a star, the David star in the middle. You see? It's a little, I just draw it now. So what is happening is actually that my symbol without the star will be a oneness symbol, because you're going around forever and ever, you can go into it. But this one with the 2, with the, I would call it the veil, 2 M's, this is the veil, is put in top of this, you see, 2 M's here. So when we put the veil, then it's a duality, because then you have a triangle here and a heart, and a triangle there and a heart. So we have 2 parts. You cannot move around in it like we can do in the oneness symbol. So that is why I work with this, is because it's important to be aware of. If we start to work with the oneness level, we are here on earth to learn something and to live our lives. That we're not going to live in the oneness level, but that we can visit the oneness level whenever we want. And to do that in a safe way, then it's important that you know how to come back to earth, or to that we are here, So it's important to protect yourself with a duality, with a veil. The veil will say duality, then we have a 2-part. It's just symbolizing this. And that means if we work with a note from heaven, if you're going out to do shopping, I'm just going out, then you put the veil, because you will be totally open otherwise. And many people are complaining, I'm taking too many things on me and I can't protect myself. Yes, you can. You can protect yourself. You just have to remember to do it. Put it on. You are protected. Then you're not taking it in, because if we just walk and I can't, I'm listening. Yeah, you don't want to, but you can protect yourself always. And it's just a matter of consciousness. That's why I tell you this. So if we're going into this, that you will not, none of you be too flighty. So remember, we can put some Velcro here, maybe make a blouse. I didn't come to produce it yet.
It's interesting that you use the word veil, because it seems like the veil of the third of the earth, and the veil is thinning now. Is it the same? You mean duality? The veil of duality?
What do you mean with the veil of duality?
I'm referring that you use that as an expression to close ourselves or to keep ourselves protected from this open heart and taking on people's.
Yeah.
But it also reminds me of the veil of earth, and the veil that is thinning now as we ascend as a planet.
Around them.
Yeah. And so is that similar or equal, or it's different?
I don't know, but I think that everything is connected. Like, I think it's the same. I mean, it's of course, when if let's say you get let's say somebody is psychotic or have a problem, that they are so open that it's too thin, the veil, they can't put that veil. They don't have the power to put it. So of course you can't demand them, just put it. If you can't do it, you can't do it. If you're too weak. And the same thing, if the veil would disappear around the earth, we would have to cope with it. And I think if it's disappearing around the earth, then it's because we have to expand our consciousness to manage it. And the one that will do that will manage, and the ones that won't will be a problem.
Yes. Okay. So I can sense that those watching and listening would like to learn more about this symbol. How can we work with it all the time? How would we work with it? And is it with our breath and expanding?
The thing, it's just a symbol, so it's just to remind you to remember to hang this idea of the veil, because the veil is also just the consciousness of thinking about something protecting you. It's in the energy field, actually. But I could tell literally, we have different ways of reacting when something is good for us. Let's say that you will start to listen to yourself. The note from heaven brings you back to your power. That's my experience, that you start to develop your intuition. You come back to you find your path, whatever it is. And when you walk in the right direction, you would have some navigation signs that the body will simply tell you, because we have to listen to the intuition. That's really not easy sometimes. What is right and wrong, and this feels good, no, this, and is it my ego, what is it? But then if my heart would say, like, I would have this feeling of saying, oh, like an opening. It's like this thing would be like elastic. It was like a stage opening, or the curtain opening, like a veil opening. Then I'm starting to yawn, and I also use it during the therapy. And people should know that it's not because they're boring. It's usually because I get touched. And then it's like the chest is opening. So that could be a navigation sign that fits for me very well with this symbol. So maybe I got it because it fits with me. And if you get another symbol, fine. Just that it works. It's the essence. So yeah, you could also have navigation signs for what is right. For example, some people will have the REM movement of the eyes. Some people will start to move on the lips, something you can't do by the thought.
Interesting. So fascinating. And there's stories of healing. We're going to get to that in a moment. But can we experience this, even when you were singing, you did the example of the Indian singer as she sang, and that gave me chills. I know I'm not the only one. It gave you chills. And there's something about that. The music of Beatles kind of take us there. Sometimes there's modern music that takes us there, but it's the oneness that we're feeling. Can we get a little taste of this note from heaven?
Yes, you can, but maybe I just, one moment, because I didn't move the temperature. One moment, it's just over there.
Beautiful. Okay.
It's coming now. It feels like this. Now my voice was, I was singing 7 hours today already because we had 7 hours webinar. So if it's a little bit coarse, take it. It is not straight as it should be. It is, I'm not the best to express it right now because my voice is torn out, but it is, I will sing a little bit loud now, sorry, but then it's easier. It's not that good shape, my voice right now. I'm sorry about it, but it's it is this that the breath is getting long.
Yes, the breath is getting long. And Zoom, there's filters, there's audio filters on Zoom that actually take out your softer voice. So
I'm
I don't
sorry about it. So it sounds like a sheep probably, but
here's after a while, we hear the strong part of it. And I'm going to work with you so that when we do our workshop together, you'll turn on original sound for musicians. So that won't cut out. Yes.
Yeah, should I do that now?
Yes, do that now. In the upper corner of your, you see it?
Yes, in the video and the upper corner.
Do you see original sound from musicians off? Maybe you haven't set it up yet.
Oh, sorry. Now I came to take it out. It's coming here.
Okay.
I know because I did it before. I just, maybe I can't do it when we started already. I just go into the video thing.
Or go to the microphone, the little arrow next to the microphone.
Yeah, I take that one. Yeah.
You got it. Okay.
And then we're going into original, what you said.
Original sound for musicians.
Yeah, I have to go into select the speaker, test speaker and microphone, then I'll go in there. No, we don't want to do this.
Let's see what you want to do.
It's going to now the voice disappeared. It's really good. This audio settings.
Audio settings.
So
and then under audio profile
original sound for musicians. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just that the singing, Zoom, it has this ability to filter out background noises. So it's taking your song as a background noise. So try to sing now. Yeah.
Just get this one.
And we have
can hear me. Now you can hear me good. And then we do it like this. Sorry, I came to press something. It's because I'm used to the Vimeo. Is it good now?
Yes, if you, in the upper left-hand corner of your Zoom panel, you should see original sound for musicians.
Yeah, but I have pressed it now inside the.
Excellent. Okay.
So I'm sorry, I came to press something. I don't know what it was, but now it's back. Very good. We'll not do it. Never do it again. But something else is that I have experience now doing, I had a divorce, like it's 2 years, it's many years now it was going on this, but because of that, actually my voice changed. And if you have probably I'm traumatized, so you can hear it on your voice always when something is happening. So the usually opening I have to work with it. So I must admit that there are something going on. And I also accept it, because we are all like this, that the voice will always express your condition. And if you have a sadness or something about, even you will be feeling happy, but you have a deep sorrow, so it will always be expressed in your voice. You can't hide when you go into the note from heaven.
Wow.
That's how it is.
And so that's what you use to heal. That's how you're able to heal people.
Yeah.
And you're going to teach people how we can use that to heal ourselves. But this is the trauma that's stored in our body and the sadness. So
Yeah,
did you use the singing? Did you use the singing, the note from heaven, to help you get through
yeah, I'm trying to do it, and now I don't understand how long time it should take, but maybe it's because it takes time. You cannot just quit a sorrow like that. Sometimes it takes some time, but you can help to accept the things and to see what it is just by singing and expressing it, to allow to express the beauty, the beast, you see, in yourself. So I like that very much. But I want to say that it also developed the work with the note from heaven, because I didn't know what exactly I had. It just knew that it continued developing, and I just wanted to come back to be a musician and write my songs. I'm writing also songs, and I was a songwriter and things like that. So now I can sing nice. I mean, why not be a songwriter, do my CDs and music? But all the time things were happening with this note from heaven. I thought, okay, I'm writing a book. I'll try to write a book to finish with it. So I started to have, when I wrote the book, feelings of sensations up here and again tingling, and it was really nice. And then when I read, I was not an author then, I like to write. I'm good in writing, but it's my first book. So I saw, when I read it, that certain part of it was very clear and sharp, and other parts, my ego had been there. So I start to see, okay, it's like with the singing, that sometimes you're just present and you get this energy down. And then also the same thing when you are writing, for example, you can see here it's not pure. You are thinking you're great, you're writing, oh my goodness. People can't use that for anything. You need to be humble and to write exactly what is meant to be written. So I start to see that different energies. And then at a certain time, my son, I had one son, then I got him quite late. He was born with an unknown chromosome translocation that nobody knew what was going to happen to him. He couldn't walk when he was 2 years because he had no knee shells. And they didn't know how it all would develop with him. We were told he will never cycle, probably not walk, this and that. And then we went to a medium, and we never went to something like that before, because, they can tell you anything, would you believe it, and all this. I had this kind of fear in me. But we had no choice, because we heard this guy had been healing somebody, also using the sound, and I was using the sound. So I thought, okay, maybe we go for him. He can't sing, but the spirit sings through him. So we went there. And the spirit, Dr. Carl, was saying, don't worry so much about your son. It will be all right. The hospitals told us the worst scenarios, to be sure. They didn't say anything positive. But he said, the knee shells will come down. Come down? They are somewhere else in the body. And I thought, okay, great news. So he said, ask the specialist next time you come to see if they came down. And I said, okay, this kind of thing, that's how I am. I'm very logical. Yes, that's a deal. I will ask the specialist to see if they came down. And if they were down, I'll believe anything you told me, If that's going to happen, my son can walk, it will be able to walk. So they told me all kind of things there. They start to say, yes, we know you have had very strange ideas about sound. Yes, I thought, how could they know that? You know, I was writing this book about the note from heaven, and more strange ideas came to me. And we know you don't want to be different than all the others, but we are sorry, but we cannot stress enough how important this is. And I thought, it's not been published yet. I don't tell my family about it because I'm a little bit, it's getting more and more spiritual, and my family is just not spiritual. My friends, not spiritual. I will lose everybody if I would tell them about what I'm writing. And they knew everything. And then in the end, he said, we are sending these thoughts for you. So say, you are sending them. So you want me to write that you're doing it? No, we have no need for recognition. He said, so I said, and there will be much more coming over the years. So I said, what? And then after this, I was like, you know, I didn't know what to think, but I start to understand that I'm not alone. And even everybody would think I'm strange, that there's somebody up there. I have no doubt. I know, because when we came to the next check, I asked the specialist, could you please check my son's knees if the knee shelves came down? And he said, oh, why should I do it? That he has no knee shelves. I said, because some alternative person told us that the knee shelves will come back. Oh, he said, oh, somebody told you that. Yeah, but that's not possible. I said, but could you just please check? And then he found them. They had come down. So I was like, I'm so grateful for the spirit. It was my son, yeah. So this opened everything. And so I'm in service now. I'm simply in their service. I'll do anything as long as I feel it's positive. And that's what happened then. The healing started to happen. And it's been slowly. In the beginning, it was a deaf person that got hearing back. And every time it's happening in a strange way, like I didn't know that person didn't hear on one ear. So she had a headache, and I said, I'm playing a little bit with the sound. I can try to do something for you. And then they said, she said it's not working, and I was like ashamed. Oh my God, I'm saying ooh on her head, it's too strange. And I said, I'll never do it again. And then she came back next day and said, I got my hearing back on my deaf ear. And I said, what? You have a deaf ear? I didn't know that. Yeah, I've been totally deaf since my childhood on that ear. Then it happened that I just understood. I gave her more healing, and then she got the hearing even better. So I understood this has nothing exactly to do with you. It's a sound coming, an energy coming through you when you do this. So that's how it is. I don't know exactly what's happening. I know I have to listen for the resonance, and it's something with the resonance of the body. I use my ears as a musician, and also what I know about music for doing it. But it's a higher power. I have no doubt about it. It's like we're linking ourselves to the internet, to a higher net that we don't know about, not much about it. But you can get help. You're never alone.
That is so beautiful and so encouraging. And so as you're using your sound, can you describe what it is that you're doing when you're like scanning someone's body? And you can do this remotely.
Yes.
You're even working with cancer patients, and this is real.
And we found out about it during the corona, because I have this in me that I don't want to be too strange. You have this from my family. They still think I'm strange, but I'm living with it. And so people had talked to me about doing remote healing before, and I said, no, it's too strange. But then during the corona, there were too many sick people, and then it worked.
And that's a gift. So say thank you for that experience.
Yes.
Thanks for the
It's a
experience, because wow, look at how many more people that you can help.
yes.
This is
Yes.
where it's almost fifth dimensional, how the technology is here to
Yes.
assist us
Yes.
in that way.
Exactly. It's a huge thing that we can do this. But imagine people being in hospice or in the
Yeah.
hospital. You can sit and do it through the telephone. You don't
Oh,
even have to look at them. You just have to tune into them. If they allow, it's your soul that allow if you can receive the healing, because sometimes there's a plan for that soul. We cannot always know what's the best for another person. That's always your decision. It's our decision, and we have to respect that. But sometimes also that can be a resistance because we don't believe or trust the other person. So from seeing that other people are healed, the trust and the consciousness can expand. And that's what happened today, that we worked. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but it's a new film, will come about 1 year from an Israeli instructor. And we were supposed to heal. I had my best student with me, Marie de Vestergaard, because I like to be true that to see if we get the same results all the time when it's such a serious illness. So there were 4 people with cancer, and we did them all day here. And in the end, there was one of them that there was a medical doctor. He could only have the scanner for 1 hour. And he did it for one because it was fitting for breast cancer, that scanner. And there was one with the breast cancer, and the tumor went down. We could see it getting smaller on the image simply. He was measuring it. We took it in 3 steps. He said, oh, now it's like to this, down to this, down to that. And usually we would stop when we have no more trauma sound, but we could see it on the image. There was a very small one left. And then it was gone. He couldn't find it.
oh,
And this
that's so
is
good.
historical, because we never had anybody that was filming it.
Yeah.
So and that's what we want. We want to work with the conventional system, because with the voice we can go in, for example, blood clots. Maybe we can go and make the blood clot disappear. Because, and then now I'm coming into the Hong song, because the note from heaven, we have this that's just the open R. But then if you want to then the more wild thing is when you get the Hong in the middle, and that's what I have here. You see, this is with the it's here. This is the circle. This is the female, the surrendering, the opening. Then in the center is the NG. And the NG, why is it in the center? Because this will just open up to the pituitary. And I have this in this book, the Heal the Pineal, which I wrote. I have only published it myself still, and I didn't come to push myself into anything yet. I don't have the power for it, but if anybody knows a publisher, I would like to get it out. But this is, I also think this is crucial for the world now, because we can clean and purify our own pineal gland. And that's also what I want to do in this course, and what I'm doing in my courses in general. So when you sing Hung through the nose, then up here is the pituitary, the red one. So actually, where you say Hung, physically, where are you placing your Hung? Close, NG. It Hung will do up. The Hung more back, and Hung somewhere else. It's like in the heart palate, it's different places that you will place the note. And this is different places of the brain that will be activated. And I find that genius, because we can have the anatomy and the singing and the spirituality, everything will be fit together. So when we sing Hung, we're going up in to the place where usually a neurologist would do the operation. He will put up here and go through the nose and into the central nerve system, which is a bird-shaped, it's bird-shaped. It looks like a bird head for me. I like to see like animals, then I can better remember it. And I did some drawings also of it. Not this one, coming here. It's not really nice drawing, but it's a very big head. But you see, or maybe we take that one. Here we have the bird, and here we have the pineal gland in the center of the brain, and here the pituitary. It's an opposite heart hanging down from the beak of the bird, and it's just here that we will activate with our singing the hum. And since we did this hum, I found that you can actually activate your own endocrine glands. I mean, when we come to menopause, we can balance ourselves. I did it. That's why I found out about it, because I felt too bad in my menopause. I thought, it's not true. It cannot be so bad. It was terrible. And why is it terrible? Because most of us, our pineal gland is calcified. This is very big. It's a cone, but it is cone shaped, and it's size of a small pine nut in the center of the brain. But because the pineal is just like a magnet for fluoride. So it's pulling the fluoride to it, and it's very good maybe to protect our teeth. And we got a lot of it as children because of that, but then we are numbed in the pineal gland. So kids from 8 to 16 years, there was an investigation, I think in 2016, 30% was already totally calcified. So this means that we have less contact to our intuition. We will create less melatonin. We will sleep not so good. We will detox not so good. So the key for a good health is actually to purify the pineal gland. You see, that's why I wrote this book. It's not that I love to sit. My first book. I wrote it straight in English. This one, and I mean, it's all right. It's good, and there have been people through it, Americans and English people, so it's okay. And I had to write it because this is a key for the new time coming to clean the pineal gland. Why? Because it's shaped as a spiral. It has crystalline structures inside, and crystals, it gives light from it so much that neurologists, when they look at the images, when they have to scan you, they can see a light and they know, oh, that's a pineal gland. So we have all the potentials of this to be an antenna, a receiver. And when we have this calcified, it's would be the same as clouds in front of the sun all the time. It's true that person that have a calcified pineal gland would not maybe, of course they will see the sun, but we just take it an image. That's the truth. You have the truth you have, so you're right. But if you have a purified one, the truth will be different. And I found that I could purify it in 15 minutes. It's just, and how? How do you do it? It is to sing this. I was trying with, no. I tried to get in contact with them, and I was, what happened? Then all of a sudden, like the cat's purring. And in top of this, now I also went to the water conference in Bulgaria, and I met so many fantastic scientists. And you have one in USA, the Gel Pollack. He wrote the book, The Fourth Phase of Water. And this is about the exclusion zone water that is very, very pure. It's always on top of any water is a very thin layer that is totally pure. And this water we have inside ourselves. So why do we talk about that? It's because when we purify the pineal gland, then we will also detox our waters so that our cells will be able to be purified from sulfate in the nighttime, because the pineal gland will create sulfate from the light. This is not so known, but the sulfate is like the soap that will strengthen this kind of waters in our body, that it will be more energized and more pure. So in this way we can detox ourselves. And it's my wish, I hope, I detox also with medical pills like VMSA, because I had an active Lyme disease. The doctors said I will be sick for the rest of my life. I'm free of it. I could sing myself free of the toxins in the joints where I had pain, but they couldn't get out. So they moved around and I got scared. I could move it around and then I get a new problem. So I thought, we have to find out about this, because what about my students if they would have the same problem? Huh? So I tried to with the medical doctors, and I wrote this book, Health, about a personal story about chronic heavy metal poisoning and how to overcome it. And this is also only it's kind of new. I just released it myself. I didn't even put it out yet, because I know that I might have a problem with the medical industry, maybe because it's showing that we are all toxins. I mean, if we would get free of the toxins, no illness. So the heal the pineal is the key for that. So when we, for example, today had the 4 people with the cancer, we always go for the pineal gland to purify it, plus the liver, which is the general of the body. It's a triangle sitting down on the right side. That they will be able to detox the cancer if it's leaving the body. Because if they can't do it, it will just move around, and so that's also important to help the body to detox. So the pineal gland is key. So and then you just close your eyes and imagine doing it. And then if you have toxins there might come a trauma sound. So I try to do it on you, Lorena. I'm not sure you have toxin because I think you're healthy, but many have it anyway. I did it even I was healthy. Shall I try, Lorena, to go into your pineal?
Yes.
Still very shortly. I'm not going to do long.
Okay.
Love and light for Lauren. Yes, a little bit. Of course there is, because you didn't. I don't think you cleaned it. It's to shiver it a little bit to get off the. It's not much. I just give it real sound so that it will break it. Yeah, good. Now the pineal is, I gave it some that I think that you should never do too much. And I actually said that also to an international education where we had an Australian medical doctor with us. He was pensioned, so he dared to go into this and say, oh, you're going to clean the pineal, ha, ha, ha. And then he felt it. He felt something happening. And he was so excited. So he went to his room and he continued. He wanted just this to be totally clean.
Yeah.
And he did it for hours. And then next morning, he didn't come to the teaching because he was sick. He got so sick that he thought he got the corona and said, okay, I have a test. You get a test here. Go and take that test. And he didn't have the corona. according to the test. So I think he was just detoxing. So
Wow.
if you would detox, I have something to supplement it with. It is the castor oil. Castor oil, Edgar Cayce said it also, to put on the liver. Castor oil with a pack of cotton and a towel around it and plastic around it for one night, you will be all right. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It shows me the work that I have to do. You know, it's like getting off fluoride is not enough. There's more work to do to clean the pineal, and your
Because
work.
it's still there. It's still there, yeah.
Yeah, wow. So it's the sound, and so it's are you putting, when you do the NG sound, are you putting the tongue on the roof of your mouth and
No,
almost like a growl, or
just NG is I would say like a car, or a scooter, and the tongue is relaxed. But of course, when you say NG, it must be the back of the tongue going up, you know. It's like you would say NG. That's how it is.
okay, is that it?
Perfect.
Oh, really?
Perfect.
That's it.
Yes. It's not everybody that gets it.
It's not a pretty sound, but I like the cat purr
No,
sound.
but you see, when you do this, now I'll come back to this gel Pollack, and I know we finish soon. The gel Pollack, he's with the water, and then they make all kind of experiments. And he mentioned also an experiment that is in the internet, actually. It's a 23, 24, and 25 hertz. And that's a sound like this. It's a deep note. If you would put a water pipe in top of the speaker with a gaffer tape, then and then you will have this sound thing that can put 25, and to be very precise with the frequencies. Then if this water pipe is running with water and it's the sound on the speaker, it's going through that pipe, just on the pipe, is just on the speaker, then the water will go out in spirals. I think I don't remember the difference. 123, maybe it's spiral, drip, 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 drip. It's like a pattern all the way down. And then the 24 is going opposite up. It's going the other way. And the 25 is some kind of like the DNA, double one. So it seems like the Hong song has this special thing.
That is so amazing. And we're looking forward to the workshop with you so that we can learn how to utilize this.
Yeah, I just want to say, if somebody sitting out with a cancer, try to sing for the tumor with this sound, because it seems like it will break the membrane. It could be, I don't say it's how it is, but we've seen tumors going down.
Remarkable. I love how you're doing this, and congratulations on your film. I know you're going out to dinner tonight in a few minutes with your family to celebrate, because it deserves celebration. And I absolutely love how you are working to get this into the mainstream medical field as well. It will be more in our life, and it's so beautiful. And the 23, 24, 25 hertz, that is where a cat purr is. It's at those hertz. And so the spiral, is that why it cleans the pineal, which is a spiral?
I don't know, but I imagine that. I imagine, because what I want just to shiver it to get this choke out. And by the way, when I did it, I got such a headache in the evening, and I had immediately balance from my menopause thing. I felt really good and not depressed or anything. But then I got like pain in the neck, and I never have a headache usually. And I woke up in the night with an egg here. And I thought, oh, cancer. No, it wasn't. It was the tonsils that is swollen, because I couldn't detox all this dirt from the pineal.
Wow. So then if we do this work,
Yeah.
we should, what, MSM sulfur or some of the things that
Yeah,
you,
but you could also put an onion on it. They do this in India if they have something swollen, then
really?
onion, because that's clean sulfate. It doesn't smell so well, but yet I went down to cut an onion, cut a little
Wow.
bit, and then a towel around. It's the simple way, but yeah.
Wow. And reasons that we should eat garlic and onions more often.
Don't
Yeah.
put garlic straight on the skin.
Don't
That would
put garlic on the skin.
not
Okay.
garlic, but the normal onion. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is beautiful. So for the workshop, Geetha, I'm going to work with you and we're going to get your original sound
Mhm.
working so that we can hear your sound clearly. We'll do that offline.
Yes, yes.
You were also part of the Sound Healing Conference, and that was a remarkable presentation that you gave.
Ah,
We're going to put that up on this show page
okay.
so that everybody can watch that as well, because that's just more information and more examples of that sound. And you're actually scanning someone so we can see how that works. It really is beautiful. It's worthy of sharing that video more. And
I
so,
didn't even see it. I don't even remember who I was scanning.
with David Gibson, it was beautiful. I mean, it was really remarkable. So, that will be available on the show page for everyone. Well, actually, we'll put it on the page where people can register for this workshop, so it's easy for people to find. Now, did you want to say anything more about this workshop and what's going to go on? Because it's an interactive one, but we're
Yeah,
also going to learn.
this is, I mean, always when I promise something, it always can be happening other things also. But because if we interact, then there will be some needs out there that we might want to meet, or some examples we want to do. I don't know how many will participate, so I can't promise to take everybody, but I can promise that I will do a healing for all the group. And I could go through, for example, the endocrine system and make a meditation through that.
Yeah.
And also do the liver and all this, that you will have a detoxification of the pineal. It's really important that, and it's also important that you will learn the note from heaven and the home song. So I will instruct you in that, and we'll do it together. It's not a beautiful sound when we do it online, but you can have it. We can just close the microphones and each one will sing with their voice, you know.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm certain that people were doing the hung sound here with us today, and that's beautiful. So we'll be meeting everyone on Zoom, and it's really wonderful. There's time for questions in our paid workshop, so please join us for that workshop. We're looking forward to it. It's very reasonable, $33 investment for this beautiful lesson with this pioneering sound healer, vocal sound healing. Again, Geetha, I'm just so honored to have you here. You shared a couple of your books. We wrote them down. I'm certain that we're all going to go look for those books and grab them now. And
You can't find them because it's only in my place, but we will see. You can find them in Saxo, but that's a Danish company. But I have to, it's because I'm not really well organized yet, because I used to have a publisher together with my husband, and because we divorced, everything has been a mess. But the books are important and they will get out. I know that because I have to do something.
Are they on your website available for shipping out?
Yes, they are.
Okay, I'm certain people will go to your website then and buy them there. And if there's anyone in the audience who knows how to assist Geetha on getting on Amazon, oh my gosh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, maybe I should do that. It's just, you know, when you do sound healings and all this for selling yourself, I'm not really good in that.
Well, someone SC in our Zoom audience says, you're already there, sister. There's a link in our chat line where we can go buy Geetha's books. Okay,
good.
Let's go
Thank
get her books and learn. And then we'll.
I know that this one is out in O-books. That's why that's out there. So that's
Beautiful.
good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So remarkable. We are honored, and this is just wonderful. Really, really wonderful, Geetha. You are honorable in your work. And again, congratulations. celebrate and thank you, thank you, thank you. As we say goodbye, I want to give you a moment for any final thoughts.
Yeah, I will just sing a song for you.
Yes.
You are precious to me and the universe, a beautiful soul, complete as you are. You are loved unconditionally. You belong, you are free. You are precious to me and you even beautiful soul, complete as you are. You are loved unconditionally. You belong, you are free.
You are loved.
Yes, you are loved. And we are now coming into a time where we just have to share and do things. Of course, we take some money for our workshop. We have to live, we have to have bread, but it's getting more and more sharing and helping people to help themselves and each other. We are going to do it, and it's the women we are going to go woo like that.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sound healing is a remarkable tool, and more is going to be revealed as it's already being revealed. And what a pioneer you are. Really remarkable. Githa, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you in the 30th of June.
Yes, in the webinar, and that will be recorded if you can't join us live. So we invite everyone watching and listening to register for that. And Githa, we'll see you again. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your love and light. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Galey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.